Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy IAMSU. We are for a very, very special episode of Tapped In with my guy, Bay Area legend, incredible producer, my big bro, and good friend, Trackademicks. What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's poppin' with you?
Yeah, chilling. Always.
Absolutely.
Come from the studio. Always.
Straight from the studio, straight grind time.
Yeah.
That's the only way. But yeah, for everybody that's not familiar with you, just like give them like a quick little synopsis of all the stuff you've been a part of from the beginning. Like,
Man, I guess I'm gonna try and give you the headlines.
yeah.
It's hard. I guess my intro into the game, I guess, producing, was fooling with Mr. Fab.
Yeah.
So like back in the day, they had this New Bay thing popping off, right? I guess it was the first New Bay.
Yeah. Because we was the second New Bay.
Yeah, exactly. It was the first New Bay, and I remember I fooled with Fab. I gave him some CDs, and he called me back, and I started fooling with him, and I ended up doing 6 tracks on Son of a Pimp.
Classic.
And then so that kind of helped put me on, and then I guess kind of from there, what else? I got involved with Fool's Gold Records out of New York. Shout out to DJ A-Track, and just started. They put out my first single. Around that same time, Hyphy Movement did the Tell Me When to Go remix.
I'm going to stop you right there. That was a classic.
Trackademicks. Tell me when to go. 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 Tell me when to go.
That was like a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like everything. Like, I remember being at youth radio. Yes. We're going to touch on the whole youth radio thing, too, because you the reason why I got accepted in. Like, I remember I had a sit-down interview with you. I was real nervous. I felt like I wore the wrong fit. I think I might have had some Timbs and an NWA shirt on or something. My mom was like, I don't know why you wear that damn NWA shirt.
That's hella funny.
But yeah, like, anyway, we'll get back to that. But that moment you played that, I believe it was on a CD, and you put it in the boombox and played it in Berkeley.
Yep. I remember that day. Yeah, no, I for sure remember that day when I made that. I mean, I made it and brought it to youth radio because I actually, it's funny, like that was the MySpace era, and I was like, I was gonna see if I can get it cracking. So I brought it, gave it. I burnt CDs and just gave it to all the students. I'm trying to remember. It was a few students. I remember I gave it to everybody, but the next day it just started to spread. I put it on my MySpace and it just started going everywhere.
That shit, I feel like is literally just as good as the original. I feel like in the Bay, you could switch. You don't have to just play the first one. You could play that remix and get the same reaction.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. The reason I did it is because a lot of people who aren't from here never understand us out here. Like, they got fast tempo beats, or they speak funny, or they, just whatever their criticisms are. And I was like, man, I'm about to sample something like hip hop, really like a sample that y'all can't find. Y'all got to dig for it, then make it, try to match it up and just really drive the point home that we got.
Did that sample actually say "we go dumb, we go dumb"?
It was just a vocal sample. They didn't say it, but that's the art in it, is like trying to make it sound like, because it's like, it's the power of suggestion. Once you suggest something, it's in people's mind.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
It just sounds dumb.
That was literally crazy. I was like, how the fuck? Like, how did he find something that said that?
Yeah.
Like,
that's my favorite thing. Remixing is one of my favorite things to do. Like,
yeah, you nasty with the remixes.
Yeah, I've been doing remix tapes for forever, and like just being able to match, whether it's different samples or just take a song and put it in a whole other context. Yeah, that's always been my thing. Other
than that song, because that's obviously like one of your biggest remixes. But what was your personal favorite remix that you've done?
That's hard to. It's hard to say because I've done so many remixes, and every time I do one, I think it's my best. Just like every time you make a beat or write a verse, you're like, yeah, it's the best I ever did.
Yeah.
But I think there was this group called Platinum Pied Pipers back in 2008, but that's because I met Tidra Moses through that remix. That was a good one. She saw it on my MySpace and was like,
MySpace made a lot of stuff shake.
Oh yeah, MySpace was it. I wish MySpace was still popping.
For real. It was a good time.
Yeah, that, and then what else? Yeah, I don't know. Tell Me When to Go is definitely one of the top ones. And like, it's so many I've done out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. It's, right? It's like a crazy catalog.
One of the recent favorite ones I did a Jodeci Cry For You like house remix. Yeah,
that sounds insane. That literally sounds crazy. But like circling back to just your beginning times, like I know you're from Alameda, so like, what was it like growing up in a city like that, especially being so close to Oakland, yet having its own culture? Like, can you explain what it was like growing up?
Yeah, a lot of people be like, when I say I'm from Alameda, they be like, oh, same thing. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Right. It's for sure not the same thing. Like, you know, the demographics of the city, it's not the same. You know, it's definitely a lot less riffraff problems. Yeah. I say I had a pretty quiet upbringing. I was really into music. I was in band. Oh, you know, I played saxophone from like 4th to 12th grade. Yeah. I was terrible at it, but not terrible. I just didn't practice. That's all.
That was the worst. I tried to play the horn in elementary school and I gave up instantly.
Like, I love it because it gave me like musical theory or whatever. But if I practiced, I'd have been raw. My mom wouldn't let me play football, so she said you could be in the band. But like, I was like, I didn't put up a fight either. Yeah. She was like, you're gonna hurt your knees like your uncles. I was like, all right, I'm cool. I play music. But yeah, Alameda was cool. It was real chill. I think my musical life, like I used to be making like beats on Casio keyboards using Mario Paint, like Super Nintendo, like programming beats. Wow. Yeah, I used to do, crazy stuff like that. But when I really got to it was when I went to youth radio. Like I got the way I got into youth radio was my girlfriend at the time. She was from West Oakland, but she went to Alameda. She was in it already, and she was like, I think y'all will be good in this program. Yeah. So we all went up to Berkeley and got Bev. Shout out to Bev. She accepted us on the spot. Yeah. And that's when I started learning Pro Tools. I think it was like 2.1, and then like
that the first.
Yeah, it's like first Pro Tools, and then I learned the reel-to-reel machines, all that stuff, and that right there, that's where I met DJ Tap 10 of the Honor Roll. Right. What is it? I came up there with Mike Baker and my homie Mox. We were all Honor Roll. We met Wiz, who was our peer teacher. At
so Wiz was your peer teacher.
Yes.
Is that how y'all met each other?
He had he was a freshman in college, and we were juniors in high school. All of us. So me, Tap, we were all part of the same core class, and we just all started, sharing musical ideas, and like, Wiz was pretty amazing. Like it's funny, before I actually had ever touched anything to make beats with, Wiz, he was just looking at the music we were bringing up there for our core radio shows on Friday night. And he was like, oh, you bringing this sample? Oh, you like this? He's like, I remember he told me, he's like, you're going to be a good producer. I didn't even think about like really doing that. And he could always see potential in people. It's still like that,
Yeah, Wiz is a very special person. Like he has a very like narrowed in, distinct vision, and I think that's fire. Like I really like what y'all mean for our culture. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all are like connoisseurs and curators of a distinct aspect of our culture.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the Bay Area is so rich in music, but then just being raised in the 90s and 2000s, like really on like hip hop culture, like knowing where your samples come from when you're making a beat, and trying not to bite other people, and just all that like really sharpened our game. All we would do when we were in college was just buy records. Like I go over to Wiz and Tap's house when they're living in the city, and just all we would do is go to Amoeba, Rasputin, buy records, spend all our money. They'd be in the magazine section, the Tower, because back then the magazine section was Tumblr. It was like Instagram and all that, and Twitter, where you just look through stuff. And so that's where we got our game, is really just researching, being nerds back then.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You had to go get it, so there wasn't as many of us.
Now it's just so accessible. One thing I do want to say is like all the kids watching this, be original. Like you said, it was like very frowned upon to bite. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah.
Gotta have your own style.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't even want to flip the same samples that if we heard, I as a producer or aspiring producer back then, I was in college. I went to USF.
Yeah.
Just trying to, I was a business major, it was funny. I was like trying to be like Superman Clark Kent, like in daytime. I'm at school and I'm like, doing this, and then afterwards I'm just at the house making
instantly.
beats.
So you was gonna be a suit, like originally.
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely like trying to like, okay, I guess I have to go work in the financial district and do all this, and my heart really wasn't in that, you know. But like I was always making beats. That's really where I like honed in making beats in college.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just being able to like consume hella music, and then like I made this sample guide. Like I think it's actually online now. There's like sample FAQ, or not sample FAQ. Who sampled? Yeah. There's like a resource online that used to be this old resource, and I made a whole book out of it, and it would tell you if you typed in a song like who sampled it, what the samples were.
That's what I would go on Who Sampled all the time.
Yeah, I made a book out of the original version of that site, and we used to take it to the record store and just look for samples.
Yeah,
and like that's how like I first started to build my record collection. But and then through that I called myself a bottom feeder, where I would only just buy dollar records. I wasn't concerned with buying like the big samples that everybody used.
You want the more like obscure, like cutty
like,
B-side.
I want to see if I can make something out of nothing. Yeah, and that's for sure what I was doing. But yeah, that was a big thing. But yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy. What do you like when you first started sampling? What was like the device that you used? Like, what was the machine?
Oh yeah, man. I bought the keyboard. I remember I asked Wiz and his brother Tyrone. I was like, what do I buy? And they're like, buy ASR 80 or ASR 10. I was like, ASR 10. Okay, Ensoniq ASR 10, and that's what Kanye he still uses. Pharrell uses the RZA, the Alchemist. Hieroglyphics, a lot of them use it, A+, and like just that was the keyboard that came out early 90s, and so it had been out for a while. But it had the best like onboard effects and all that, and we take it for granted now because like we had the sampling. I think the sampling time for that was like if you bust it down to like, I don't know, lower quality mono sample. I'm not gonna get all technical, but you had like two minutes or something, which was crazy. But now you can sample you can drop a whole song in the Reason or and just use the whole song.
I came in at the spoiled time.
Yeah, that computers, because then we were limited by the amount of hardware we could use or hard drive space. Not a lot of memory. Now so we had to be a little more creative, but just like how we use the sample.
So like, can you explain like using the ASR, because I've seen one. But as far as like loading up a sample and chopping a sample, how do you do that in there?
So the way you get a sample into the ASR is you got to record it in. You have to take the 1/4 inch, plug it in the back or whatever it is. We usually would sample off of records. So you have the record player through a mixer through the ASR.
And that's a lot of gear. That's like a room full of gear right there.
Oh yeah, it's no plug and play. I spent my first like 2 years trying to make stuff sound good. You know how when you get on Reason, you're like, oh, I got
instantly lit.
Just like that's what's crazy, because like now you can be a 10-year-old, get some software, it just sounds good because it's all in the box. Man, that first year and a half, I was like, man, I gotta turn this level up. This sounds muffled. It was like really trying to learn how to make it sound good. But then once you get in there, you gotta like, you have a screen that's like this big,
right?
And you're just looking at this purple screen, and with a bunch of numbers on it, and you're like using sliders to like chop the samples, like, oh, chop the front end, chop the back end.
Once you select it, that would be a number.
It's just a bunch of numbers, and so you're like, or like if people use the MPC, they're going like this, and it's like, but you're using your ear, you're just like sitting here, slider. The one thing I liked about making beats with ASR, I got so good where I could just close my eyes and go. You could do it in there'll be times where I'm like half asleep making beats. I just be like, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
And you wake up and you have like, oh, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was definitely a different experience because you're not just looking at a screen. You know.
So like I know you produced a lot of stuff on Kamaya's new project, and that was like a big moment for the Bay Area when she put that music out.
Yeah, that was it was great. Having the chance to do that, like, it's crazy because like her sound, it's like a perfect convergence of her being from where she's from, like a big rapper from Oakland, a woman, doing like traditional Oakland music too.
Traditional Oakland music.
It's like
which wasn't around for a long time. Like she came with a sound that is distinctly from Oakland.
Exactly. And so like it was like a perfect storm of that, and it's crazy because that's the sound that I'm very at home making, you know?
Right.
Like her sound is just part of the lineage of being from here. And like just being able to bless her with tracks, I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, that was a great experience. I remember being in the studio when she made the song that you did. When you first played that beat, I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, freaky.
If she don't pick this, I'm finna come whisper like, bro, give me this beat. I think I might have told you like, bro, give me that beat.
Man, and that's the thing about it, because I can make those all day now. And like, I love the way she works because she has so much confidence about herself when she raps, because she like, she'll just be in the studio and then it don't matter who's in there, and she'll just come with a hook, like that. A lot of people, she don't write it down sometimes. She just spit it.
Goes in.
Yeah, it's dope. It's really dope. It's all vibes.
Yeah, that's fire. Like, do you feel like her bringing you in on that project kind of reintroduced you to a new generation of people?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's the one thing that I love is that because I've been around long enough to see how the game kind of works and recycles, and you get in where you fit in, right? And you really just stay true to the kind of music you make, because music has gone all over the place. And granted, I make a lot of music that goes all over, whether it's R&B, like house, rap music, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I can make a lot of different kinds, but I still make a specific brand that seems to like resonate with people still, which is
every
cool.
time. And it's something about those synth sounds that you use. Like, it has a very distinct tone, and it's always familiar. Like, whenever you play those bass lines, you use those synth sounds, it's just something in it, like something, a little bit of magic feeling, like.
Right. I mean, a lot of it, I just try to make what makes me feel good. It's damn near like therapy. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm making beat, I'm really trying to make it for me to sound good. You know?
Yeah.
And granted, like, that's why I'll put out an instrumental project and it's just all padded out since it just sounds hella lush and wet and pretty.
Yeah.
But nobody really gonna rap on it because it's like too much going on.
Yeah.
But like it's just to make me feel good.
Yeah, that'd be like just them riding beats. Like, it's just so clean to get in the car and hear those kind of beats. Like, that's like the perfect kind of thing to ride to.
Right.
So that's what I would say I really admire about your sound. But I know you also an artist. Aside from being a producer, you rap and you sing, you do all type of stuff. Like, So what do you feel like is so special about your artistry? Like, what do you feel like you bring to the game that's different? Like,
man, I mean, it's really just a vibe. It's funny because that term it's really being used, but I mean, the essence of what it is, a vibe, fresh coasting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's my mantra, fresh coasting. And I feel like it's really about feeling good, open, airy, relatability, like just real chill music. Yeah. We from the Fresh Coast.
Right.
That's literally like the cornerstone of what I'm trying to do. So like just making sure that I'm also rooted in the 80s, right? I'm an 80s baby, right? And just everything is real synthesized, real wet, real breezy.
Right.
That's literally it. And it's just that's kind of like my aim. I don't really I appreciate all kinds of music, but when it comes out of me, it tends to be more like on the brighter side, the happier side. Yeah. Even though it's or like introverted side, it's never really like dark. Yeah. It may be hard, but it's not
dark. That's me too. I feel like you played a big influence on my sound. Yeah. Like just hearing those bright synth sounds, I'm hella into that too. You know what I'm saying? I always love 80s sound and stuff.
Yeah.
So you definitely were hands-on influence in my sound.
Man, I appreciate it. I feel like one of my, I wouldn't even say darkest, but one of my hardest beats is like iPhone Gmail.
That was so hard.
Like,
man, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even bring up all the shit you did for me. I was gonna reel off hella shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's tons.
Man, like iPhone and the Gmail beat. That moment when Drew, we was in LA. I think we had just come off a tour.
I remember you.
We was in LA for like a week or something. Yep. And Sage had a session, but he wasn't recording. Mm-hmm. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going in. I asked engineer, I'm like, so you paid to be here, or what you gonna do? You gonna leave? I'm like, shit, I'm gonna post some shit up and do it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Drew played that beat. It was like, oh, like it scared me. Like instantly went in and did the whole song. Yeah. And it was so weak, I lost the session. I had to re-record it.
I remember that. I remember because we kept trying to chase that auto-tune riff.
It was funny. Like as soon as I said it, like I spoke a lot of things into existence on that song because I'm talking about going out the country at that time. That was like a year before I went and actually did it. You feel me?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it was crazy, like talking about selling shit. We didn't do international shipping. You feel me? We're talking about selling clothes overseas, being overseas, doing this and that on a tour bus, and
hell yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, no, you got it's an affirmation. You got will it in existence. Like
that shit really happened. Like that was kind of crazy. Like, but that I feel like that beat is still like people still don't understand that.
Yo. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just it's like it's a well-rounded beat. It just you know, I really like hustlers music. You know, like music that just make you feel motivated to like go make some money or just go.
That is exactly what that was.
Yeah, and it's like pure motivation. You know, but still chill, but still urgent enough to like, all right, you know, this is how we do it. You know? Yeah,
that hands down is like top 3 favorite beats. That the Kamaya beat, and this last one, Hipster Girls.
Oh. Man, that's one of my favorite beats. You know what's funny? Yeah, that beat is funny because a lot of people be like, well, this sounds so happy. It's like the guitars, it's like real. I don't know, it's upbeat, but like I don't know, it was just the perfect vibe.
It was something smooth about it. Like, and I sat on that beat for a long time. Like, it took me a real long time to write that because like a girl I was dealing with at the time, her lifestyle literally wrote that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big like movement for, I mean, it still is. The finest girl from the Bay has to go to LA for a period of her life. Like she has to.
Yes.
It's something about the way our society is set up that has to happen.
Yeah. If you got anything popping, you're drawn to where everything's popping.
Right.
Right. And yeah, no, I mean, I know many girls, like when that song came out, I was like, you broke it down to the flannels.
At that time, that was
the beanies.
Dumbass accurate. It might be a little different right now, but at the time, it was
I remember, but like, shoot, you can still see remnants of it. It's just
you still see
different.
it. Yeah, you still see it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so that whole experience and that beat was really like crazy. Like, what was that sample?
Man, it's one of my favorite groups called SFX. You know, and they usually I don't even tell them, but like, yeah,
it's clear. It's clear. So we all
it's clear. Yeah, you know, I just don't want people going to steal my samples. You know, no, I'm playing.
Don't steal the sauce alert.
You know, but yeah, like just to really, it's some more '80s smooth jazz. You can hear it in there. You can hear where it comes from.
Yeah.
It kind of like being a musical archaeologist. You got to like pinpoint what it sounds like, and then just put it in a whole new context.
Yeah, that shit is so jiggy. When I do it at shows, everybody be all over the whole world. They was loving that. Like, and another one of my favorites that you did was the title track off my first album.
Oh,
that was like a deep moment.
Man, dude, I wasn't even thinking about that. You saw Kicks, right?
Yeah, that almost brought me to tears. I kid you not. Like, if you ain't seen Kicks, make sure you see Kicks. Like, one of the deepest moments in the movie.
Yes,
they use our song.
Yes, Sincerely Yours. Like, you can hear 108K singing. It comes in and it's just like, it's crazy, right? Because I'll tell you about that beat. Like, Sincerely Yours, I remember when I first made it, I sent it. This is before you even heard it. Maybe like, it was actually made like 2 years before you even heard it.
For real.
It's like that old, right?
Yeah.
And like, but it was like, I wasn't playing it for people because it's like, nobody really was gonna get on it, or like I wanted to make sure it got to the right person. I sent it to Nick over at Fool's Gold. He was like, "Dude, this is like this is like a Drake beat, right? And I was like, well, let's get it to Drake, you know. But that didn't happen. But we just, I sat on it. I remember playing it for you, and then like you flamed it.
That was a crazy moment,
because you were talking about real life,
Yeah.
And I'm glad it even made it on there. But making it, I was like, this is such a cinematic, song, and I think that's the thing that I haven't even been going for, but that's the reason why I even like music a lot of time is through movies. When I grew up, the reason I like a lot of movies is because of the music.
The music would be so fire. It goes hand in hand. Like that visual, especially when it played out that higher than ever in the movie, I was like, they showed the kid, like, you feel me? And I was like, wow.
It feels good being it feels good being in the theater and watching something you made on the big screen.
That was my first time experiencing that. So I'm like, wow. So I'm so thankful that we put something together that could make it to that.
Yeah, hella tight. And like, I remember, what is it? It's funny. I had a couple of songs in movies. I had Hey Lil Mama off of Mr. Fab's album. Rest in peace Jacka, rest in peace Johnny Cash. They were both on the song. And it's crazy. It was that song was in Fruitvale Station. Rest in peace Oscar Grant. Man. But like, me and Fab still here. But like seeing that on the screen, and then also I had a song in Magic Mike XXL. Shout out
for real,
Mike XXL.
That movie just came out
like maybe like 2 years ago or maybe a year and a half ago.
Dang.
Well,
that was like a kind of weird little movie, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I did watch it when it came on HBO to see my.
It's a good look though. At the end of the day,
you gotta see it.
But, right, it's a movie.
I was juiced, but it had a song in there. But yeah, it's good. Like making music that translates into like people's lives and like can be used as a soundscape or soundtrack. People, that's what.
You got a lot of soundscapes. That's a good word. Like a soundscape. Can you kind of describe like the champagne? What was the champagne sound?
Man, Champagne Soul.
Champagne Soul. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so like on a roll, a lot of us in the crew, we've come up with a lot of terms for our music. And shout out to Tap 10 and Wiz. We always like music from the 80s, right? Like soul music from the 80s that started to use like the 808 drum machine. And like kind of like early mid 80s, right? Groups like Loose Ends, SOS Band, Mtume. There's a sound
gems, three gems. Make sure you check them out.
I mean, you can listen to like even like y'all. I mean, Kuya has told me, he's like, man, we was off that just listening to Champagne Soul. DJ Tap 10.
Who's playing that on repeat in Kuya truck riding around?
Yeah, like it's all just 80s. It's like the foundation of what we call player wave. Like a lot of 80s, like Bay Area player wave music, where it's just like all player shit, and it's very like, it's funk and soul from the 80s. Yeah. But yeah, like that sound, because the premier drum machine of hip hop is the TR-808, the Roland TR-808.
To kind of explain what that is for people who don't know.
It's like this drum machine that I don't know, I forget what year. I think it came out in 84 maybe. Like I don't know. I was a baby. But like I think they used it on like Planet Rock and like all that stuff, like a lot of the electro stuff, but like it had the big 808 boom sound, and like all those sounds, that's what everybody uses, all trap, everything. It's just 808s,
exactly.
But it was actually a machine. It just wasn't just in the computer. And so like those sounds I would use. Like I remember, like if you listen to my first remix tapes that came out,
it was straight 808s.
Yeah, it's just the
that's
same.
What really made me like it. I love the like, of course, the kick, the clap, cowbell is fire. Yeah. And then it's like the little like them little that's toms, like, whatever.
If you listen to Kamaya's stuff, that's what we doing.
I love 808 sounds. Like that's the best, the most fire. Like you'll hear all the trap beats, all Mustard beats, all my beats, hella your beats. Like,
you just stay
clapping.
Baby, I'ma make you believe again. You know I'ma leave again. Good smoke, girl, breathe it in. I hope you don't leave with him.
If I look depressed in the club, it's cause I probably am. When I look a mess out in public, I popped a shout out all my niggas on a similar prescription plan. Oh, used to lean it on these hoes just to get around. So I got a couple more, I'm that nigga now. And I'm always on the road, barely in the town. Yeah, I'm always on the road, barely in the town.